Tina at Tina Stitches. Welcome to my channel. Today is Sunday, April the 3rd. It is a bit later in the day than I normally would record. It's after dinner actually, and I just wanted to get this done. I don't have a lot to show. I do have a little bit of haul, and really I want to test out the new internet. So yeah, I thought, well, what better way to test it than to try to upload a video. So it's not going to be a very long video, I'm sure, but you know, it will be something to test it with. I just realized this morning that it is my 5-year Flosstube anniversary. So I'm going to start collecting. I need to think of something to give you guys to say thank you. So I'm not sure what it's going to be right now. Yeah, I'm still thinking on that. So let's just say not next week maybe, but the week after that I will have something worked out. So stay tuned. I do have plans to do a collaboration video with Kim and Sarah of Stitch and Stuff, and we still need to talk about, you know, setting up the time and everything. So there is that. Just moving the mic a little bit because it was behind the camera instead of beside. So yeah, it's been a week since my last video, and it's been quite a week. We did take Khaleesi to the vet. I will probably save that for later because it's a bit of a long story. And we'll just get into my stitching. So it's been 1 week, 7 stitching days, and 3 projects. That's all I did. I've worked on, once I picked up the one project, I really want to keep working on that. So yeah, you'll be seeing a lot more of that this month. But March was my son's birthday month, and so I did put a little bit more time into the Permin of Copenhagen sampler 1823, which looks like this. And here's where it was when you last saw it. And here it is now. So as you can see, I finished the flag. I added these little weird owl men things and this flower in a planter motif. Yeah, there are some really strange stitched people in this sampler, and it's kind of comical. I think of these like Tweedledee and Tweedledum. It's just weird. But they also have like an owlish kind of look to them too. Yeah. So that's where I am leaving this one. I will be putting it in a project bag. I might have to wash it first. And the reason for that is I put it back in this, and there's a working copy in there, and I should know better. I should know better. some of the Xerox rubbed off on the fabric, and I believe that's the back side of it anyways. But yeah, lesson learned. Maybe not. It might happen again. You know, I really didn't expect it to happen, but I think the problem is that the package is so tight that it really rubbed, and this is really stiff fabric. Like, it's coarse, so I think it's partly the fabric's fault. So the next project that I'm going to show you is something that I haven't stitched in a very long time, and I pulled it out about a month ago, and I was showing it to my son and saying, oh, I really want to work on this. And I almost put it on a Q-snap and started to work on it, but I had other obligations. I have entered into WIPGO, the Facebook group run by Jessie Marie Does Stuff, and I do have some pretty big, well, I have big projects, but I also set myself a pretty big goal. Some people will take 2 boards and work on 4 projects throughout the month. I'm only doing 1 board, and what that entails, so WIPGO is like a bingo board, and here's mine, and I just drew it with a pencil. And so Jessie Marie, on the 27th of the month, she calls 2 numbers. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Sorry, I hear a train. I also hear my furnace, so. Anyways, I wasn't sure if I was going to catch a train in this video, to be honest. But there it is. So, I set myself 22 hours per project, per time it's called. And this month, she called for March, it was Strawberries and Dressmaker's Daughter. And I worked mostly exclusively on those 2 projects until I got that time done, and that does take almost all month to do 22 hours in the time that I have. So pulling out another project to work on, another big project to work on, doesn't really fit in that plan, especially because it was March and I wanted to also put time in on the Permin of Copenhagen project. All of that to say, I didn't get to work on my Chatelaine as soon as I had wanted to. But this month, number 7 and number 10 are the numbers. And number 10 happens to be Royal Tudor Mandala. That's my Chatelaine. And I forgot to add these up, but I did start stitching on it early. As soon as those numbers are called, I worked on the Permin for the 27th, and then the 28th rolled around, and I switched over to Royal Tudor Mandala, and I've already done 16 hours. So here's where it was when you last saw it. Here's what it's supposed to look like. And here's where it's at. So this is the bottom right corner of the entire design. And once in a while, when I'm stitching on it, depending on how my reach is, I will flip it over and stitch on it like this. But for this purpose, we'll hold it like this. So last time I showed it was last week, and you will notice that this was stitched up to about here. So all of this black work is new. This around here is new, and filling in the window here and here is new, and there's still a little bit more to do there, but I had made a mistake and had to frog a bit. So that's where it's at. I did do a little bit more of this, and this is new as well, I believe. So I'm already more than halfway through to reach my goal. It's quite exciting. And because number 7 was Crystal Christmas, and that's all finished, like completely stitched up, I have the rest of the month. I have all of April to do whatever I want, really, and I can keep working on this until I feel like putting it aside. Now, in saying that, I did add it to my monthly magazine challenge group. Acrostic, which is bookmark. So I have it on here 3 times. For M, Mandala, for R, Royal Tudor, and for K. This is Royal Tudor Mandala by Chatelaine, stitched on 32 count white opalescent, and nowhere in there is there a K. But these crowns here in the design are referred to as the Queen's crown and the King's crown. So I'm getting very close to reaching this crown here. So I'm hoping by the end of the month I can reach this crown and start working on it and just call it done for one of the K's. The other K is going to be Beatitudes. So Beatitudes is really going to be the other project for April. You'll see both this and Beatitudes. Yeah. Loving this, and really feel really good about getting this black work done, because in the design there's actually a flaw in where is it now? It's right about here. That it takes a portion from down here and overlaps it up here. And so I had to mimic, well, basically ignore the overlap and stitch it the way it was meant to be stitched, which is an acorn and a leaf pattern. So that's Royal Tudor Mandala, stitched with the called for silks. This is meant to be stitched in DMC black, but I am stitching it in PB 01. It's the black treasure braid, so gives it a little extra sparkle. So the next project I'm going to show you is, of course, Royal Tudor Mandal. No, oh my god. Beloved. Beloved by Adele Sesler, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, stitched 2/1 half cross on 25 count, even weave, probably lugana. And here's where it was when you last saw it. And here it is now. So I worked mostly over here this time because I wanted to get caught up on my stitches, and so I figured let's just do some solid black, which it wasn't really solid black stitching, but it got some of my numbers. Then I was on the fence about just do the black stitching on the weekend, because then you'll really get a lot of stitches in, because I am behind this week. My goal is to get 1,400 stitches a week. I think I'm probably at about 1,000 stitches this week. 2 days of the week I did not get my morning stitching in because of going to the vet and such. But I did stick to my plan of working on this section on the weekend. So yeah, I'm bringing it over, working in the parked threads, and then filling in, working from this side over, picking a stitch from here, carry that color as far over as I can comfortably, and then park it. And that's where it is now. So that's all that I stitched on. I did get a lot of progress done on Royal Tudor Mandala because that's my evening project, and I've had more evening time than I did morning time. Beloved is stitched in the mornings before I go to work. Generally Fridays I don't get any time to stitch on it because it's early day, and Thursday was the day we went to the vet. We had to be at the vet for 9 o'clock, and we have to drive over an hour to get there. So I have some haul. I am in the Black Needle Society subscription box, and I got the steampunk stitching box a couple days ago. I am impressed with this one. It was a lot more stitch related than some of the boxes that I've got in the past. I don't know if you've already seen an unboxing, but there are plenty out there. So there's a small project bag. This pattern some floss drops, some notebooks, which are gridded paper. That'll be handy. And dotted paper. And 32 count gunmetal lugana by Bee Stitched Me. This is my first Bee Stitched Me fabric. And little nuggets of floss, hand dyed by Almond M&M. Right, let me just look that up. Yeah, Almond M&M. Well, I had put them in this little baggie, this little pouch. This is actually the pouch that the floss jewelry came in. We got a fabric measurement card. Needle minder, and it's not going to focus, of course. There it is. And thread bling. And there was also a wooden cutout toy thing. It was intended to hold pencils or pens, but you can use it to hold scissors. I immediately gave it to my husband because he enjoys those kinds of things. So all in all, this one I would say would be a successful box for me. I'm happy about this. And I already put floss in here. Because this is a steampunk theme bag, I put the floss in it for, oh, what is it called now? It's my next or second next Heaven and Earth Designs pattern. This one is by Chris Ortega. Inner Depths, that's what it's called. I started collecting the floss for that, so I put it in here. And I think I will be using, I will put these in here as well. I might as well. The needle minder and the thread bling. So while I was in Dragon waiting to get Khaleesi back from the vet, because for those of you who are new, Khaleesi is my little dog. She's got problems, and so we're taking her to the vet. I'll get into that. So she had to go to the vet, and we had to stick around for 7 hours. Trying to kill time for 7 hours without spending a lot of money is not easy. So we went for breakfast, went shopping, went for lunch, went shopping. So anyways, while we were doing that, I did go to Walmart and collect some of the colors that I need for my other HAID that I'm going to be starting. A HAID, for those of you who are not familiar, that's an acronym for Heaven and Earth Designs. They mostly do full coverage, such as my beloved piece. Just BAPs, which is big projects. So I have plans to stitch a stitching shelf. And so I was in Walmart, and my Walmart just started carrying DMC. So I pulled up a stitching shelf, max color, on my phone to look at the floss usage and to grab. My plan is to grab 2 skeins of anything that said it needed +1. Like 1.6 skeins, I grabbed 2 because I would want them to be of the same dye lot. If they didn't have all of the colors, I don't know why they don't carry all the colors, but they don't. But I got a good chunk of them. And so I'm putting them in my resting stitch face bag, which I got off Amazon. Stitching shelf, stitch face, why not? I think I'm going to go through my current DMC stash and see if, like, out of the skeins that I have not used, I will see if I can pull out as many of those for that project as I can, and for the inner depths as well. I have all the DMC, but some of them are getting low, and some of them, like I have a box that I'm using for the 3 Mirabilias that I'm working on. Do I have 3? Well, I have 2, and I have technically I have 4, but there's 3 that the floss is all in the one floss box. Anyways, all of that to say, I'm collecting floss for new charts, for new starts later this year, hopefully. So I'm just going to pause the camera and go and get Khaleesi. Okay, so I'm trying to adjust her without hurting her. So this is Khaleesi. She's a rescue dog that we got from a rescue society about 3 years ago. She's about 7 years old, and she was limping pretty badly last November, and so we started to take her to the vet. First initial diagnosis was a pulled tendon, which tends to happen in small dogs because they have to jump higher than other dogs to get on furniture and stuff. Going upstairs and all of that, everything is bigger that they have to overcome. So they figured it was a pulled tendon, and he had made a comment at that time about on top of her arthritis. And we thought that was an odd comment. So anyways, he said to, rest and it should get better. Well, that was in November, and she hasn't been getting any better. She's just been getting worse. It's to the point now where she won't use her back legs if she doesn't have to. We're fortunate enough that she is still going outside and using, using the bathroom, let's say, outside. No messes inside. So, very thankful for that. She's a very, very good dog. Trying to keep her in the frame here. Okay. So, in her November appointment, they also said that it looked like she needed cleaning And we're like, yeah, okay. So we priced that out. And then we said, well, let's just wait. It's just a cleaning. And then we decided, well, you know, they had to put her under to do a joint tap, which is to take some synovial fluid out of her joint, send it away to be tested to see if she has rheumatoid arthritis, which apparently is very rare in a dog. He said that he sees a case about once a year. So I was like, yay, we win the lottery. So we have another $1 million dog. Yay. And while she was under, we decided to get her dental work done. So I don't know if you can tell, but she did get a couple of teeth pulled. Because one of them was cracked and the other ones were pretty damaged. And she still has her bandage on her foot. So we'll hear the results of that tomorrow or Tuesday. So Monday or Tuesday. So we're hopeful. It can be expensive to treat depending on the size of dog. According to the vet, there's the treatment that we're going to do. It would be about $600 a month for a 100-pound dog. She's 7.5 pounds, so her treatment will be about $60 a month tops. Another reason I'm thankful I'm getting small dogs. So I think she's done. She doesn't want to do anything. I think I can put her on the floor here. You want to go on the floor? Okay. So yeah, so we had to spend 7 hours trying not to spend money because of the potential bill that she was going to incur, which ended up being about half of what we expected, so that was good. So I think I've said all there is to say. My plans are probably going to be working on Royal Tudor Mandala for the next week, and I might switch out to Beautitudes. Depends. We'll see. But yeah, that's all I got for now. So until next time, happy stitching. Take care of each other. Be kind to each other. Yeah. Take care.